and I just joined.
That's really very interesting because often what we believe is that teachers will come up to the students and they will say, but it's the other way around over here. Good to see you anyways, but hope
I'm
you.
aspiring to be I want to take a admin post. I've been in teaching career for more than like 25 years. So there is somewhere I'm lacking, in the public speaking and my communication skill. There is a gap. I find that. So I want to overcome that. That's my,
Okay. Okay, you are at the right place, and you will have a really fabulous journey in Toastmasters. And I hope to see you soon with the tag Toastmasters before your name. Uh,
thank you.
Thank you for tuning in today. Now, I suppose I'm not missing anyone. Uh, I guess not. Okay, so let's move with the normal flow of the meeting now. And one of the interesting things which I was hearing was that by the year 2040, one of the most epic centers of the world, whether it was New York, whether it's Delhi, whether it's California, they are all going to get facing the issue of water crisis. It's one of the reasons why climate change is an important issue. And to discuss that, we have got Toastmaster Sajal Jain, who has served as the Vice President Education of the club, who is currently serving as the Vice President Public Relations for the 11 Toastmasters, and has also represented the club at the area international speech contest. So put your hands together and let me welcome onto the stage Toastmaster Sajal Jain.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anand, for such a good introduction. A very good evening, everyone. Have you ever wondered that while you are trying to achieve your dreams, or while you are trying to check mark every item on your bucket list, there is something all pervasive that is giving you the opportunity to do it? That something is the nature that we live in. And too often we forget to be grateful towards it. Forget grateful. Right now, we are the enemies of the one thing that is keeping us alive. From the oxygen that we breathe in, to the food that we eat, to the water that we drink, Mother Nature is the only thing that is helping us survive. Imagine poetry without flowers, paintings without landscapes, films without scenery. Imagine what would Shakespeare compare Juliet to if there was no rose? Or what would Jungle Book look like if there was no Baloo? Imagine Lord of the Rings series without those stunning mountain ranges. Or what would happen to the series of Tom and Jerry if there was no Tom and Jerry? Imagine a world without the awe of sunsets or sunrises. It is disheartening to know that something that has provided us unconditionally is getting destroyed by our very own actions. Notice these two pictures. The first picture was taken a week before lockdown, the second picture a month after it. The change in air quality, the change in landscape is due to just one factor, and that is mankind. Today, we have to consider whether what's broken can ever even be fixed. The pollution levels, air, noise, sound, has increased to dangerous levels. The coral reefs are getting destroyed each day. The UN report said that 1 million species are close to extinction. Climate change, global warming are becoming threatening issues to humanity. There is an urgent need to create awareness and damage control if we want to leave something for the upcoming generations. Today, I want to discuss three main issues as to why nature is important for us. And discuss, there are three segments to a Toastmasters meeting. The first segment is the prepared speeches section, in which the speakers come and deliver their speeches according to the objectives given by Toastmasters International. The second section is the table topic section, in which Even the guest can participate, and any person who comes up on the stage is given a random topic to discuss about. I was facing network issues. Can someone confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, you are audible. Please continue.
Thank you. So there are three sections in a Toastmasters meeting. The first section is the topic section, in which any person who comes up on the stage is given a random topic to speak for as a table topic master. The third section is one of the most critical sections in any Toastmasters meeting. That is the general evaluation section, in which every person who comes up on the stage is evaluated by an army of evaluators headed up by the general evaluator. The nature consists of various ecosystems. An ecosystem is defined when the living components, that is the biotic components, and the non-living components, that is abiotic components, come together to form a bubble of life. In Toastmasters meeting, the auxiliary role players form an ecosystem as they come together and work harmoniously to help us, and prevent any slip ups in our communication skills. Our first auxiliary role player is the timer for today's meeting. Whether it's cold winters when the mountains are filled with snow, or it's scorching heat and we are looking for a shade of a tree to rest in, or when it's spring and the flowers are in full bloom, it is said that nature doesn't have a bad timing, only bad clothing. With that in mind, I would like to invite Toastmaster Santosh Devi, who will be playing timer for today's meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Santosh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sajal. Nature doesn't need people, but people need nature. Similarly, time doesn't need people, but people need time. Good evening, for a Toastmaster and dear guest. I'm the timer for today's meeting, and my job is to track the time. I will be displaying green card at the mean allotted time. I will be displaying the yellow card at the mean allotted time, and at the maximum allotted time I will be showing the red card. For example, during the speech section, the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes for one speech. I will be showing green card at the 5 minutes, yellow card at the 6 minutes, and the red card at the 7 minutes. In the table topic session, I will be showing the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes for every table topic speaker. I will be displaying green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card at 2 minutes. And you will be getting the grace period of the 30 seconds so that you can conclude your speeches. With that, and I will be presenting my report during the evaluation session when general evaluators force me to do the same. With that, over to your Toastmaster Sajal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Santosh. Have you ever noticed a waterfall? You will notice that there are various rocks on the way that it tries to disturb the flow of a waterfall. But the waterfall is powerful enough to cover up those rocks and keep flowing. Just like that, in our communication, we use pauses or filler words which act as those rocks. And our R counter for today's meeting helps us cover those pauses and slip ups and make our language smooth. With that in mind, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sanchit to the stage as our counter for today's meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanchit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sajal. Am I audible?
Yes, you are
Yeah,
audible.
great. So, whenever I hear this word nature, the first thing that comes to my mind is traveling. But since we are in pandemic, we can't really travel. But we can surely go for a road trip, right? Just imagine you're going on a road trip and you encounter two type of roads. One is quite smooth, well constructed road, and the second one is quite crooked, full of speed bumpers and full of pits. Which one would you prefer? The first one, right? The well constructed one. Similarly, just like a road has speed breakers, in a good speech, in a speech we have filler words. Filler words like us, and you know, and pauses that makes the speech quite less engaging and less impactful. That's why I am the R counter for the day, and I will be noting down all the filler words in your speeches, and I will be providing the report when the journal evaluator calls me on the stage. That's it from my side. Back to you, Toastmaster Sajal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanchit. If you look closely, you will see that there is perfect harmony in nature, a kind of discipline within chaos. For example, if you see the sun rising, it's setting, the moon entering, the stars fading away, it's as if the nature follows a set of rules. Just like that, grammar has a set of rules which helps to make our communication effective. And to keep a track of our language skills, we have our language evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Bhavya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sajal. Like oxygen and water are very important for our lives. Similarly, language is an integral part of communication. Today, my role as a language evaluator is threefold. First, introducing you all to the word of the day. Second, keeping a note of creative use of language, quotations, etc. And third, noting any misuse of grammar. So the word of the day is audacious. It is an adjective which means daring or recklessly bold. For example, despite a water crisis in the world, people have the audacity to waste water. Or it was audacious of her to do skydiving in such a harsh weather. I encourage you all to use this word as much as possible in this meeting and get a thumbs up. So I will be back in the evaluation segment with my language evaluation report. For the timing, over to you, Toastmaster Sajal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhavya. It is often said that earth has music for those who listen. If you close your eyes and listen for 1 second, you will probably hear a bird singing, or the noise of wind flowing, or any other miraculous sound. There is as much power in listening as there is in speaking. With that in mind, I would like to invite the listener for today's meeting, Toastmaster Bela.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sajal. After a long time, good to see you.
Thank
When
you.
you talk, you are only repeating, but when and you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new. And listening is a very good habit. And in that way, we all have some good, another good habits. That is appreciates the nature. And in this way, we should all have plant a tree, make a garden, and watch sunset more and uh, produce oxygens. That's why I am the listener today's meeting and best luck all of you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bela. So let's begin with the first section for Toastmasters meeting. The first point of importance that I want to share today is this, that nature inspires. When we feel low, we look up to the next day, that the sun is going to rise again. Nature can teach you many important lessons, but the main lesson that it teaches you is that nothing is permanent. Everything changes. Seasons come and go. Plants bloom and fall to seed. Storms crash across the horizon and the sun comes up again. The circumstances that you find yourself today are never permanent. They only seem that way. I applaud the courage and the audacity that every prepared speaker has today to come and try better, to come and make themselves better. Because while we may make mistakes or while we may stumble, we are left braver each time that we agree to show up. With that in mind, I would like to invite today's first speaker. Our first speaker today is somebody who I admire, who I look up to. She is none other than Toastmaster Roli. I didn't have to ask her that what her favorite thing in nature is, because I know that she treks, and for every trekker, mountains inevitably become their favorite. And I think I know the reason why. Because when you are going up the hills, there is a change in terrain, and there is that unexplored mystery that awaits you. When you go and you look up to that vastness, you realize that you are just a speck of dust in the galaxy. Mountains keep you grounded. Before calling upon our first speaker, I would like to invite her speech evaluator, Toastmaster Bhavya, to read out the objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sajal. So, Toastmaster Roli is going to deliver her icebreaker speech of the pathway, engaging humor. It is a level 1 project 1 speech, and the time duration is 4 to 6 minutes. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. So, wishing all the best to Toastmaster Roli. Over to you, Toastmaster Sajal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhavya. Okay, I shouldn't delay it further. Toastmaster Roli, who am I? Who am I? Toastmaster Roli. Roli, you are on mute.
Yeah, now I'm not. So when Toastmasters threw down the gauntlet of a free path, I picked up engaging humor. It's a challenge, not for me, for you, because my jokes are not funny. You, the unsuspecting members of my audience, my jokes are going to kill you. And I have 14 speeches left. All the best. Oh, maybe this engaging humor part is my midlife crisis. Midlife crisis? Yes. I am 49, nearly 50, with one 27-year-old daughter and one 25-year-old son. What? 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 It's a standard response. After people recover from the shock, they say, no, 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 no. Your children must be 8 or 9. Are you bargaining with me? These are my children, not onions or potatoes ki thik thik laga dun. That I should be fair to you. You be fair to me. 2 times, 9 months. I would know how long ago that was, wouldn't I? Oh, you think I am too old to remember? Believe me, getting older has a few perks. You want a haircut? You go to a salon. I want a haircut. I go to the shower. The water just washes my hair away. I'm left with half of what I had in the last 2 years. Getting older means I sit and deliver this humorous speech. No stand up comedy for me. You, on the other hand, have to still stand up and deliver a standing ovation. Getting older means I am moved to the first in line out of respect for older people. All I need is that line should have nobody older than me, which is why I go to bars more than I go to museums. Getting older means I can be blunt. I can tell you the truth, and I want to. It does not get better. If you think work pressure is killing you, working on the laptop, trying to complete a deadline before it's the, oh my God, it's all over. Your back is killing you? Pain? Wait till you get to my age. And some of you are going to take 2 decades to get there. Just stay alive and you will. And once you do, you will find a lasting pain, a no rhyme or reason pain, a cold morning pain, a wet day pain, a pain in your joints that you didn't even know were holding your body together, making you crave for a joint. Joint? Yes, I'm old, audacious, and cool. I'm also incredibly gifted. I can find danger anywhere. I don't need to climb a mountain like my Toastmaster of the day wants me to go trekking right now. I can just cross the room, find a wall with my foot. That wall standing there quietly with the other three, minding its own business, and I turn it into a weapon of mass destruction of my bones. I have broken more bones that I can count. Believe me, for me, the eligibility criteria, like many of the experienced Toastmasters here may vouch, for entering a contest as a contestant, as a contest chair, as a module master, even as an anonymous judge, was one broken ankle and one walking stick. Otherwise, I would just not enter. And after that, what did I do with my broken bones? I had broken 2 ankles. We all have just two. 2 elbows. I'd run out of those two. What do I do? So I go ahead and start breaking the bones in my spine. They're called discs, by the way. So last year, it took 4 surgeons, 2 surgeries to fish out 13 discs out of my spine. It was my way of going beyond the number 206. Is there a point to this midlife crisis of a mother with 2 children and more than 206 bones? Indeed, there is. I don't just have a point, I have a message, I have a perspective. I'm not unique. I'm like all of you. Just like all of you are handed down lemons of life, I am too. I'm just making tequilas and lemonades with them. Like many other people. I too take 8 minutes to cook Maggie. I too wonder why COVID is not exiting from our planet. Where is that spaceship when we need it? I too am wondering what happened when I joined Toastmasters. Like Toastmaster Sajal, I also used to find the corners of every room, every single party. But Toastmasters made me walk from those corners to take center stage and ask a much more important question today. I took on a new and exciting and a different challenge of being engagingly humorous. But what it really made me do was ask a question, much more important than who am I to who I'm going to be. Have you decided who you're going to be? Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Roli. I think the biggest joke in your speech was that my jokes aren't funny. So let's take 1 minute for feedback. Anand, uh, can everybody provide feedback on private chat to Toastmaster Roli? We'll take 1 minute for that.
Hi, Sajal. 1 minute is over. You can proceed.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Sanju. Our next speaker today is somebody who is very special, and that is Toastmaster Jyoti. When I asked her that what is her favorite thing in nature, she said that she loves the sound of water flowing slowly by a stream and how it makes bubbly sounds and just crosses over every obstacle in a gentle way and goes along its way. That is really beautiful, Toastmaster Jyoti. Before calling upon her on stage, I would like to invite her speech evaluator, Toastmaster Roli, to read out her objectives. Read out the speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Roli.
Yeah, it seems my new challenge is unmuting myself. Okay. Toastmaster Jyoti will be delivering her project, Inspire Your Audience. The purpose of this project is for her to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. I will also be looking at her style of delivery and her content and speech structure. The speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes, and I wish her all the best.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Roli. Toastmaster Jyoti, teachings from the trek. Teachings from the trek, Toastmaster Jyoti.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests who have joined here today. All of you who are older than 1 year would remember a time when we could just pack our bags, take a train ticket, and go to an unknown place. We would have been welcomed at those places by the taxi drivers, by the restaurant owners, even by the common people selling goods by the side. But now, when I think of traveling, I am only welcomed by people standing on the doors, holding a gun to our head. I'm surprised. Why is that instrument even shaped like a gun or is even called a gun? But before I just wander on to that train of thought, let me tell you about one train I took 2 years back. I did not take it willingly. I was actually forced to take it. So my academy just put 13 of us into a train and sent us all of us on a very unknown destination in the Himalayas. To begin with, I was very excited. I had never been on such a long trek, and I used to feel very mesmerized by all the different people who used to post their trek pictures and all the videos of encouragement, which simply have those beautiful mountains and rock climbing in their background. And I thought that I'm going to feel inspired. Well, I did in the end. Maybe the journey was tough. And all along the journey, my academy had given us a diary to write whatever we learned from the trek. The trek I hated completely. I realized I'm a very urban person who likes hot water, to sleep late, and not to walk a long distance. All through the trek, I had only my 2 feet as the source of conveyance, and my entire belongings was on my rucksack. It was a tough time indeed. But 2 years later, when it is very difficult for me to go anywhere, let's not even think about vacations right now, with the job pressure and with so many restrictions on traveling, traveling has become very difficult. So I pulled out my diary one day, and I remember seeing those beautiful quotes I had written. These are not my quotes. I had a very wise old man whom I had met as my guide in the trek. And I want to share those 3 quotes with you today, because those were my trek lessons. Those were my teachings from the trek, which has stayed with me even after that arduous part was over. So the first lesson I want to tell you about is very deep, and it's in the form of a quote. It says that if you don't have a choice in life, you get the work done. We always, as neoliberals, we want choices in life. We vouch for choices in life. We always expect that individuals should have as many choices as there should be, and should be open for everybody. But there's a very counterintuitive thing saying that if you come to a place, you come to a situation where you do not have a choice, you walk through that situation, and you get the work done. You would have experienced this in your life when you had a test, when your boss put a deadline on you, uh, when you had to meet a deadline. So all those situations where we had hated the process, we still in the end got the work done. But when it comes to our self-improvement, we think that we have another choice. We don't think that if we put a commitment to it, if we fix a target, we should be there. We always find excuses for it. And I have been doing it for many times. So I realized that if you don't give yourself a choice, you will show up and you will be better than what you were 5 minutes ago. This is my attempt of implementing that saying. If you don't have a choice, you get the work done. The second quotation, which I had written in my diary that day, is also very deep. It says that the person walking in front of you is not a fool. It is very necessary to understand this in the trek, and I understood it after I had fallen many times, and all my efforts of finding a better route had failed. We do this in our own life. If we are young, we always have a disagreement with the people who are aged, thinking that, oh, whatever they did is not important. We are going to live a better, a more courageous, more audacious life. If we join an organization, we feel that, oh, our predecessor was just a fool. He did not know anything about it. And we are going to run the office in the best way possible. That happens so much in my line of work. Everyone who thinks of the government and thinks of a government office thinks that they can do a better job than their predecessor. But it is important to remember that the person who was occupying that position, that place before you, was not a fool. But it is also important to know where the person slipped, not where he fell. When we focus so much on where he fell, we get into the criticism mode. We need to know where he slipped so that we know what are the danger points. That was the second thing I learned in my trek. The third thing which I learned is that never underestimate the power of one small step taken over and over again. It has immense power. Let's talk about any small thing like a saving, like an exercise, like meditation. These are small things if you look at it on a daily basis. Nothing is going to change if you exercise for 15 days in one day, but if you keep on doing it every single day, it compounds. It adds up, and it takes you to places which you have never thought of. It takes you to a state of mind which you thought unattainable. That is the power of compounding, and that is what small steps take us to. And finally, the bigger question, the bigger lesson I had about from my trek was that there is urgent need to get away from distractions, to move into nature, to know what we really need into our lives. We can be happy with just a rucksack and 2 feet to take us to places. The trek that did not only take me to beautiful locations, when I remember the lessons back, it is also helping me to reach many different places in my personal and professional life. So I hope that as soon as this pandemic is over, I will be able to take a trek, and so will you, so that you can enrich your life with memories and learnings all along the way. Over to the Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jyoti. After hearing you, I feel like going on a trek right now. So, the second, let's begin. The- mm, Let's take 1 minute to write feedback to Toastmaster Jyoti. We can write it on feedback private chat, or we can fill that link Anand has shared on the chat.
I Sajal, you can proceed.
Thank you to Toastmaster Sanju. The second point that I want to talk about nature is that nature is completely unpredictable. It is completely random. Just yesterday, a biologist found a new species, and they found a new species every single day. There was an article that I read about a beach effect in Goa, in which the stars had a reflection on a beach on the waves, and it looked like northern lights on the beach. So the lights were showing on a beach, and it was completely random. Nature surprises us every time. Our next section is the table topic section. All we need to be is a little audacious, and maybe we will just surprise ourselves. Today, our table topic master is Toastmaster Anand. When I asked him that what his favorite thing about nature is, he said that nature helps you connect to your true self. No matter how many different types of masks you put on at work, before family and friends, before teachers, but you always get your true self in complete silence in nature. I totally agree, Toastmaster Anand. With that, I would like to invite Toastmaster Anand on the stage to carry on the second section.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Madam Toastmaster Sajal Jain. So, when I first came to Toastmasters meeting, do you know what was the most dread segment of the meeting which I feared was? It was the table topics. And guess what? That day I was in the audience seat, and today I am in the driver's seat. So I'm going to pick my victim today, and the thing is really very simple. What I'm going to do is that we are going to do it differently today. I will give you a character and a situation, and you have to enact that very character. Okay? So what I will do is I will state that very particular thing. After that, in order to make sure that your timing starts on the right time, I will say, let's say Toastmaster Anand, Lalu Prasad Yadav, Toastmaster Anand. And this will be the way that you will be delivering your speech for the next 1 to 2 minutes. Please make sure that the minimum allotted time is 1 minute and the maximum is 2 minutes, but you can go 30 seconds extra also. And please use the word of the day. So I would like to invite my first volunteer slash victim today. Anyone, quickly. It will be an easy one. Toastmaster Sanchit, would you like to volunteer?
I'm coming after so long and you have to pick me. No worries, yeah, I will do it.
Okay. So you are Arvind Kejriwal. Okay.
Okay.
And my question to you is that Delhi chokes every year after Diwali.
Hmm.
What is the government doing and where we are missing out on? Is the question audible to you? Is that
Can you
correct?
repeat once again?
Okay. Delhi chokes every year. What is the government doing and where we are missing out on?
Okay.
Okay. So Toastmaster Sanchit, Arvind Kejriwal, Toastmaster Sanchit.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anand. All right, so I've been trying a lot to contact with Mr. Modi, the central government, but he's not providing me funds. I have so much plans. I'm trying to curb the Diwali crackers and all, but this um, Modi Sarkar, he just won't let me do the work. And I know I am trying to implement odd even and all this stuff, but these people won't just join hands with me. There are some people, there are some good peoples. There are some good people who are helping out and using the public transport wherever possible. And we have tried a lot. We have tried a lot. You can see the past statistics. We have improved a lot in pollution level, and we will be continuing to improve a lot. Keep voting us, Aam Aadmi Party. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sanchit. I guess the minimum allotted time is that done, uh, timer. If not, I will ask Sanchit if you could just meet the minimum one.
He took 1 minute only, right?
Okay, that's fine. That's great. Thank you, Toastmaster Sanchit. Now, I would like to ask any guest who would like to volunteer.
Yes, Anand.
Mm, George, would you like to come up?
Yes, yes. Tell me, please.
Uh, am I audible?
Yes, yes. Hello.
Yeah, apologies on my part. I just got dropped out. So, George, your topic is that you are Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple. Okay. And the thing is that in the recent time, you launched your iPhone 12, and you were talking about reducing carbon footprints. But what you did was that you removed the charger from the box. And my allegation to you is that by following such business strategies, you are actually denting the process of climate change and not helping it rather. So, is the question clear to you?
Can you just repeat once again so that it will
So
be?
my question to you is that you have launched your iPhone 12, and what you did was that you removed the charger from the box, and you basically said that that was to reduce the carbon footprints. Okay, but that was your business strategy. This is what I am alleging, and not to help with the carbon footprints reduction. Okay, so George,
Yes.
Tim Cook, Tim Cook, guest George.
Okay, so I have to explain, right, why it is you are claiming me for that, and I have to explain
Yeah,
you, right,
yeah,
why I'm doing it.
yes.
Anand, yeah. So, all right, Anand. Good evening. So, so first of all, you have to understand, Anand, that why I am doing it, but why Apple has done it. Okay. See, thing is that see to doing like for like to get to like to surgery to like to put this thing in that market is very feasible. It's very good actually. You know, it's help that people who like some if you are going somewhere and if you are not suppose taking the charger, then also like it is very good actually in that factor, and as well as uh, if I tell you about that benefits, there is a lot of benefits there in the market, and markets it is a things are going reduced, right? Like a lot of things, like you have to update every time to stable in the market. Okay, so this is the latest technology coming. Okay, so we have grabbed this technology, and that's how we have to adapt in the market. Okay, and there's a lot of benefits, technological technical benefits our company has figured out. Okay, so that has already published. Okay, and you go uh, and like thank you, Anand. I just,
That was nice. Thank you, George.
I just
Okay.
about more technology and
Okay. I will tell you the reason why I'm fusing this very thing towards that. Okay. We will have our next volunteer.
thank you.
Otherwise, I will have to choose my victim then.
Okay, Anand, this is guest Jaya Ganguly. Give me a
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah. So I will give you an easy one. This time you will be acting as Mr. President Donald Trump. Okay. So in the recent times, what you have done is that you have withdrew USA from the Paris Climate Change Accord. And we always know, we always hear that California wildfires and huge emission of carbons from the US that comes out globally and it contributes. So my allegation to you is that why you have withdrew from the climate change accord. Okay, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Okay. So to guess Jaya, Donald Trump, guess Jaya.
Okay, good evening, everyone. As Donald Trump, actually, Anand, if I didn't get the topic. If you can just give me a little
Okay.
easier and which I can just say flawlessly, is that fine?
Okay. Okay. I will
Just
just
give
change
me
the topic.
something, I can just.
I will change the topic. You are Greta Thunberg. If you know the name, she is a climate activist. And my question to you is that how you think climate change is going to affect the world? As
Okay,
simple as that.
I am Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
Climate change, we know that technologically we are excelling day by day, and but the repercussions uh, that will be there, we are not thinking about it. For example, if we just take up the pollution, or if we take up the Australian forest fire, even if we take up the California forest fires, how the impact has been there, and years to come, what impact it will have for the next generation. So, climate change, I don't know if I have been okay with the, whatever I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I don't think I have done the justice, but Anand,
Okay.
that's why I'm here,
Thank you
because
so much.
there is
That
some problem in my public speaking.
it was wonderful to have you, ma'am. This is the way we begin, and this is the way we learn. It's the same way you are doing. That's the same way which I started with. So kudos to you, and you in fact did much better than what I started with. So
Thank
kudos to
you.
you.
Thank you for the positive.
Okay. Uh, Now, who would like to become? I will give you the hint this time. You are going to be the richest person in the world, Jeff Bezos. Now you can volunteer. Keshav, would you like to come? Or any member? Bela ma'am, if you'd like to volunteer.
Hi Anand, I would like.
Okay. Okay. So my question to you is that we often see that Amazon always when shipping their things, they wrap it up with lot of bubble wraps or plastics. So how Amazon can actually contribute to climate change or reduction of uh, plastics or something, a sustainable development as an overall. Okay, anything. Okay, so Toastmaster Santosh Devi, Jeff Bezos, Toastmaster Santosh Devi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. Yes, we all know that plastic is very dangerous thing and it is non-biodegradable, and that means it not decomposed by the bacteria and other organism. So I can say that uh, mm, uh, mm, we can use something. Anand, can you please repeat?
Okay, you can talk about sustainable development as such. What's your vision with the Amazon or as global? You can
Okay.
just expand on that. Anything like what do you think apart from even the business, how the world is going to change, what will be the future about climate, about businesses, about human life? Like you'd be seeing that there are businesses which are coming up about sustainable development, there are bamboo bottles which are coming up, similar other things.
I'm not getting anything right now. Sorry, Anand.
Okay, would you like to take another topic?
Yes.
Okay, so your topic is that you are Mr. Narendra Modi and you are at the World Economic Conference and you have to represent India about climate change and anything. So you can say what's your vision for the world and something on similar grounds.
Okay. Uh, as we all know that climate change is the biggest challenge we are facing right now. And due to climate change, the number of species is going to extinct. And the number of diseases we are facing right now. And the millions of people are dying. So we need to tackle this problem. How can we do that? First, we need to focus on the use of plastic. Second, we need to uh, try not to use try to use private try to use private vehicle as much as possible, not the personal vehicles. Thirdly, we should focus on the stubble burning, and there are many more factors. So, and other thing is that one country, it is the issue of the world. So we need to focus on it, and it is the responsibility of every individual of every country. So that's all from my side. Thank you, Anand.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. That was wonderful to hear from you. Uh, uh, Timer, do we have more time? Okay. I will take it as yes, and I will move on with the next topic then. Uh, Toastmaster Santosh, can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. So do we have time?
Yes, we have 4 minutes.
Okay. So this is gonna be an easy one, and I'd like to have my last victim for the day. Uh, Devi, would you like to volunteer? I can
Yes,
see you are
yes,
raising your hand. Okay.
I would like to answer.
So you are. I'm forgetting the name of the person right now. So you are the owner of Tesla. Okay. And you have come up with electric cars, and you need to now show the world that electric car is now the future.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the topic is yours because I'm forgetting the name of the very person.
Mask.
Yes, you can begin, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. Thanks for this wonderful concept of electric car. Yes, it's a high time that we look forward to more renewable, sources of energy. And we have exhausted our coal resources. We have exhausted petrol, diesel, all petroleum resources a lot. And see the air pollution that it is creating. Delhi is choked. And though the stubble burning has stopped, due to the vehicular traffic, the dust, all this, we are still choking. And it's high time that we look for renewable source of energy like electric. And electric has work has started world over, and in India also there's a lot of good potential. But there are certain challenges that we are facing. That is number one, how do we come up with the charging banks? Because if a vehicle runs on electricity, it needs frequent charging. Do we have that capacity? So, yes, the research is going on and it's showing fruitful result, and we can probably roll out more in the coming future. And the COVID situation itself has shown us that it's high time we live in collaboration with nature and we don't pollute the nature. So I think this is a wake up call which we need to work on, and bring in more renewable resources like the electric car, and hopefully this prospect that will come true in the future. So that's it from my end, and over to you, Anand.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devi. Uh, Now I suppose that we are about to end with the timing, so I will close this segment over here. I would like uh, Toastmaster Roli if she could launch the poll, or any of the hosts if she is not the host then. Uh, yeah, and your contenders are Toastmaster Sanchit, George, Guest Jayas, Toastmaster Santosh, and Toastmaster Devi. So I will tell you the reason why I did this. It was basically because of two reasons. In one of our pathways project, which you will come to know if you are first time visiting us, that you have to handle the audience. And sometimes it is these very situations when you combine two to three things, then that full capability of yours can be seen. And the second thing is that not every single time business people talk about business, it's also their knowledge with climate, about the how the world is functioning, about law, about religion, about caste, about economic disbalance in the society. And when you fuse that together, that's when the full potential of your speaking comes out. And that was the reason why I tried this. I hope that, I know that it was tough for a few of the people, but I hope that you enjoyed it. And back to our Madam Toastmaster, Toastmaster Sajal Jain.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anand. Let's have a huge round of applause for our table topic master, Toastmaster Anand, for making that audacious spirit come alive in each one of us. So I forgot, let's have polls for prepared speaker, the best prepared speaker as well. Toastmaster Roli, can you launch it? Is it done? So let's begin with the third section of our Toastmasters meeting. Lockdown has made me realize, has made me appreciate nature. Just going out and having the privilege to stare up at the blue white sky, or feel the touch of a leaf, or smell that pretty flower, made me realize that it's all for us. Nature gives but doesn't ask anything in return. The least we can do is harm it. The next section is led by people who are alike nature, who helps us improve our communication skills unconditionally. Our general evaluator today is Toastmaster Devi. When I asked her that what is her favorite thing in nature, she said that birds and animals are her favorite thing in nature. They can be your best friend, innocent, without expecting anything in return from you. I completely agree, Toastmaster Devi. With that, I would like to invite our general evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Devi.
Thank you so
Over
much.
to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sajal. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you. A warm good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. Mahatma Gandhi rightly said that the earth has enough resources for our need, but not for our greed. And this quote is very relevant in the present COVID scenario. Now, we have harmed the nature, we have exploited, and the nature has fought back, has stood up against us, and now we are paying for what we have done to the nature. And a very pertinent theme brought forward by Toastmaster Sajal now is the dire need to protect and preserve nature. Having said so, let us start this important session of Toastmasters meeting. Like Mark Twain rightly said, that continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. So that's why we are here in Toastmaster, to continuously improve our communication and leadership skills. And in this general evaluation section, each one of you who spoke will come to know where exactly do you stand with respect to public speaking, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, where you can improve upon. And in Toastmasters, we use two specific approaches while dealing with evaluation. Number one, we make use of the CRS approach, that is the commendation, recommendation, summary approach. You give positive points to a speaker about his or her performance, then you give the recommendations, then again you end with the balanced summary. When it comes to CRC approach, commendation, recommendation, and commendation approach, you end with a commendation come summary. So I urge all the evaluators who comes onto the stage today to give their evaluation based on these approaches. And today I have an army of evaluators and role players who will help me in evaluating the entire meeting. So let's get started with the evaluator reports. First speech evaluator was Toastmaster Bhavya Jain, who evaluated the speech of Toastmaster Roli. First, let's call upon Toastmaster Bhavya Jain.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devi. People with good sense of humor have a better sense of life. I love the way the speaker started her speech by talking about her midlife crisis filled with punches. I was constantly laughing throughout the speech. What I enjoyed the most in the speech was the drama that the speaker created on the stage. Like when people got to know about her children, she was like, what? And she came close to the camera, which created more drama. And when she was working on the laptop, the acting was perfect. And when she said, oh my God, coming close to the camera and swirling her hair, I am good, audacious, and cool. And the uses of punches and analogies throughout the speech, like, these are my children, not onions or tomatoes. The water just washes my hair away. When life gave me lemons, I made tequila out of them. weapon of mass destruction walls. The speaker was so natural and comfortable throughout the speech, which made the audience more engaged during the speech. The structure of speech was perfect with proper chronology of opening, body, and conclusion. The best part was of the speech that it had a message that we all could remember. To challenge the speaker, I would suggest her to use some props that could increase the humor and have a better audience engagement. And a few recommendations would be to, if the speaker uses any Hindi word, to translate them into English, and the alignment of frame. If it is a straight wall instead of a perspective wall, it would have a better impact on the audience. Toastmaster Roli is an explanatory public speaker who is always understood with her voice clarity and with the use of variety of tone, speed, and volume of perfection. The eye contact was perfect as the speaker looked directly in the center of the camera. The gestures were perfectly aligned with the structure of the speech, and audience engagement was just awesome. To conclude, I would say the speaker had a good opening, body language, analogies, and humor. Use of props and better alignment of frame could make this speech even more wonderful. That's all from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Master Bhavya. Moving on, let's call the next evaluator, that is evaluator of Toastmaster Jyoti, Toastmaster Roli Sinha. Over to you, Roli.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Toastmaster Jyoti, I'll speak directly to you because the way you retraced your trek with every step that you were taking, you were making me relive my treks and bringing me powerful lessons to carry for my future treks. I love the way that you mapped the lessons in the trek to what we can apply in our lives. The 3 lessons that you provided to me, I am going to make sure that I follow those. I marveled at your speech structure. It had such a clear opening, body, conclusion, and had the main idea supplemented with the 3 sub-ideas. I was also very happy that you had such a powerful message to deliver what was supposed to be an inspirational speech, but made it so easy and practically applicable in our lives. To challenge you, like my speech evaluator did for me, here's what I would like you to do. Bring in vocal variety with pauses. I felt that most of the time, the speech was delivered in an inspirational tone, which became a little monotonous. A few pauses would have helped me retain and absorb the message that you were providing. Second, the power of our words needs to be utilized to deliver the message in an even sharper and more memorable fashion. For instance, at one point you said very deep. If you'd used a word like profound, it would have had a more beautiful impact on the audience, which I was a part of. Another example is when you talked about your diary. You took it out again. And had you also said something like restrictions of my traveling, restrictions that we have of traveling at the moment, made me free my diary from its confines. It will just have created a little bit of imagery. These are only suggestions. You can implement these in the way that you best decide. I loved I'm sorry, I'm not able to see the timer's cards. Would somebody connect with them, with the timer? Overall, I was very happy with the speech structure. I was very happy that you had a story and I was able to retain the messages that you had. I was also very happy with the powerful messages that made it easier for me to apply your inspirational content with a little bit of vocal variety and better usage of words. I think that I'd be walking in nature once again with your words to mark each one of my steps. Thank you so much. Back to Madam General Art.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Roli. So with this, let's have the polls for the best speech evaluator. Tech Master, could you help me out with launching the polls? I hope all have voted.
Only 8 out of 11 people have voted. If we could have a couple of more votes, it would make the voting better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm ending the poll, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Roli. Now we have come to the end of the speech evaluation session. Now we'll have the report from the auxiliary role players. First up is the R counter. So let's welcome the R counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster Sanchit Gupta.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devi. Remember, I talked about going on a road trip. You encounter two type of roads, one a crooked one and one a comfortable one. So the people who had really comfortable road trip in today's meeting using less than 3 filler words are Toastmaster Roli, Toastmaster Bhavya, and Toastmaster Devi. Kudos to you. You did a phenomenal job. Next, we have people who had really problem in their road trip using more than 8 filler words are Toastmaster Sajal, Toastmaster Anand, guest George, and guest Jaya, and Toastmaster Santosh. Next up, we have people who encountered both type of roads, comfortable and crooked one. And they are Toastmaster Bela, Toastmaster Jyoti, and Toastmaster Anand. So that's it with my report. And before leaving, I would just like to give small piece of advice. So it's better that you should start getting comfortable in silence rather than rushing and fumbling. If you take small pauses, that will really be impactful and that can lessen the number of filler words that you use in your speeches. That's it from my side. Back to you, Toastmaster Devi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanchit. Now it's time to call upon the language evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Bhavya Jain.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devi, once again. So here's my report of language evaluator. I could see many new words used throughout the meeting, like Toastmaster guest Jaya used the word repercussions, which means unpleasant effect of result or something to you. Toastmaster Anand used quotes like last victim of the day and full potential. Toastmaster Devi said wake up call and a new word prospect, which means the possibility of something that will happen. Toastmaster Roli used the word profound, which means very great or intense. Toastmaster Sanchit used the word crooked, which means bent or twisted. Toastmaster Sajal used words like pervasive, which means that it's present in all parts of something. Scorching, which means very hot. And use of very good poetry throughout her speech. Like a few of lines were uh, films without scenery, Tom and Jerry without Tom and Jerry, flowers are in full bloom. Just a just a pure dust of garden. And the word of the day was used by Toastmaster Sajal 3 times and Toastmaster Devi once and Toastmaster Roli also once. Uh, I could see a few grammatical errors. So a few of them were to improve the communication only. Instead of that, we can say to improve the communication or to improve communication skills. And instead of saying best luck all of you, we can say best of luck to all of you. And I could see use of Hindi words during the meeting, so that can either be translated or could use directly in English. And a few words were mispronounced, like northern light. It should be pronounced northern lights, and instead of saying all, it is all. So that's all from my side. I could really see good use of grammar and language throughout the meeting. So kudos to everyone. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhavya Jain. Now let's come to our all-time favorite auxiliary role player, that is the listener, which is being played by Toastmaster Bela.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devi. Good evening, everyone, once again. And thank you, Jen. It was great listening to all of you. Hoping all of you listen very carefully. Now I am going to ask some questions. Ready, everyone? Who is the first volunteer? Bhabha, are you ready?
Okay.
This is so simple question. What is the theme today's meeting?
Save nature, save yourself.
Right. Right. Okay. And now, who is the volunteer? Anyone? No one. Okay. Toastmaster Anand, are you there?
I hope I am audible.
Yeah. Okay. And when you introduce our guest, George Dev Burman, what is the purpose for joining Toastmasters?
So I think what he said was that he basically wants to sell, and this is something which I have heard from him even in the last meeting. So that's one of those very phrases which has stick with me, and that so that basically what guess that was the thing.
Why she wants to join the Toastmaster?
He wants to join Toastmasters because he wanted to learn public speaking, and he always feels that by speaking we are always in the mode of selling, and when we actually speak in a better way, when we are uh, using a whole lot of our complete techniques, then it becomes more powerful and impactful.
Okay, right. Now, anyone? Devdi, are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
Okay. Our TMoD Sajal has given an example for our counter role.
Falling,
Nice example.
yeah, falling of the waterfalls.
Yeah, right. Right. Very nice example.
Yeah.
She has given. Okay. And anyone now? Sajal, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. What is the title of the speech? Toastmaster Roli Sinha.
Who am I?
Yeah. I think. And timer, we have time.
Yes, we have time.
Okay. What I say? Toastmaster Jyoti said 3 quotes. What is the first quote? She said, what is the first quote?
Okay. Don't have choice. If you don't have choice, you get the work done, I feel.
Right, right. Yes. And anyone? Second quote?
I think George, you can give a chance to George.
Okay, okay. George, yeah. What is the second code? George, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there, but I don't remember it.
I don't remember. I also don't remember. I'm asking you. I also forget this code.
Can I try,
Yeah.
Bela?
Okay. I also don't know what is the second code.
Okay.
What is the second code?
Just something like, don't think that the person who stands in front of you is a fool. I'm not very sure.
Yeah.
It is right.
Right. Okay. And third, Toastmaster Jyoti will explain very well in the third code. Toastmaster Jyoti, are you there?
Uh, yes, but I
Toastmaster.
also don't remember.
Can I try?
The three codes are very good. It was very good three codes. You have explained very well. Very nice code.
Can I try?
Yeah, sure.
Urgent need to go away from the distraction, I think. Not sure.
Again, I didn't get you.
Urgent need to go away from the distraction.
Toastmaster Jyoti, this is the correct?
Yes,
Bela,
I
shut
think
up.
so.
No, I think it was never an underestimate the power of a small
Yeah.
step taken again and again.
Right.
Yes, that's
But
right. That's right.
these are actually not quotes, but lessons that she learned,
Yeah. But just
that she learned from
Jyoti
her
said
guide.
three
Yeah.
codes. Lesson. Yeah, right. Right. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Back to Janani Vatat.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bella.
Thank
So
you.
now we are left with one more auxiliary role player report, that is of the timer. So let's welcome the timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Santosh Devi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devi. I'm here with my report. Sergeant at Arms took 2 minutes 23 seconds, and President took 5 minutes 30 seconds, and the time allotted was 4 minutes. All the auxiliary role players are qualified in their introduction, and in their reports. Only listener is disqualified. She took 4 minutes 43 seconds, and the time allotted was 5 minutes. Toastmaster Roli used in her speech 6 minutes 43 seconds. Toastmaster Jyoti took 7 minutes 4 seconds. Toastmaster Bhavya took uh, 2 minutes 39 her evaluation, and Roli used 3 minutes 29 seconds. And all the table topic speaker are qualified except me. I took 3 minutes 40 seconds. That's all from my side. Over to you,
Thank you
Devi.
so much, Toastmaster Santosh Devi.
I'm really sorry for playing a disturbing role today. I'm facing some challenges in sharing the screen. I'm really sorry.
No problem, Santosh. Yeah, it happens with the online meeting. No problem at all. Now we have finished with the evaluator reports and the auxiliary role player report. Now it's time to present my evaluation of all the role players. Let's start with the speech evaluators. I observed that both Toastmaster Bhavya and Toastmaster Roli used the CRC approach. They were well structured in giving their feedback. Toastmaster Bhavya had good, very analytical and observational skills. She pointed out all the minute details in Toastmaster Roli's speech. Kudos on that, Toastmaster Bhavya. And Toastmaster Roli also had a very encouraging approach when she gave feedback to Toastmaster Jyoti, and she not just said how where Jyoti needs to improve upon, but how she can improve upon the minute points she pinpointed. So that's one thing which we all as Toastmasters can learn whenever we give feedback to any speaker. Not just say where you can improve, just show it that how exactly you can improve so that the speaker can easily incorporate it and the feedback looks complete. So kudos to both the speech evaluators, and they did a wonderful job. So before I give the report of the auxiliary role players, let's have the poll for the auxiliary role players. So Tech Master, can you help me out with it? Yeah. So just take 30 seconds to vote for the best role player. I mean auxiliary role player. I hope all have voted.
We've received 7 out of 10 votes.
I think 3 more to go. Let's vote. 3 more votes. 7 down, 3 more to go. 2 more to go.
Yeah, we seem to be really trudging along.
Yes.
Okay, I think I'm going to end the poll.
Yes.
It's been a minute already. Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Roli. Now coming to my report of the auxiliary role players' performance, starting with the timer, Toastmaster Santosh Devi. She explained the theme very well, and she explained the timings also very well. So that's I've observed in Toastmaster Santosh Devi that she's very confident. Whatever role she takes up, she comes well prepared and she gives the role, plays out the role. And she also finally gave a comprehensive report of the timings being taken, so that was very well done. Let's give her a big round of applause. Now coming to the R counter, Toastmaster Sanchit, I really like the analogy which he brought in of the bumpy roads. He brought it in the beginning and he linked it in the end, and he also explained the purpose of R counter very well. And his report was brief and to the point, but just one small recommendation to Toastmaster Sanchit is he told in totality where who all didn't use the filler words. But if we could just point out exactly what are those filler words or repetitive words where each speaker can improve upon, so that will be really beneficial for the speaker to keep track of it the next time. And let's give him as well a big round of applause. Now coming to our language evaluator, Toastmaster Bhavya, she explained the purpose of the role well and linked to the meeting team. So as I mentioned before, she had good observations and she properly explained the shortcomings, good usages, kudos, and let's give her again a big round of applause. Coming to Toastmaster Bela, who played the role of listener, she linked and explained it to the theme very well. She had simple questions answerable which everyone could answer, and that was very well played, and let's give her a big round of applause. Now coming to the evaluation of meeting in totality, the meeting as usual started on time dot on 6:45. So that's the I can say the hallmark of TOTM, that we always start on time, and the appreciation goes to the entire EC team who put in all efforts and made sure that the meeting starts on time. Let's give a big round of applause to the entire EC team. Starting with the Sergeant at Arms, he started the meeting on time and read out the mission statement well. So just a small suggestion from my end is, if he could probably start off by relating his talk to the theme. Maybe a small story, small example, or an incident. When you link it to the theme, it creates a good tempo to start the meeting. So even the audience will get to know what we can expect from the meeting. Probably can introduce the small tip next time. Coming to President, Toastmaster Anand, as always, he was inspirational and he set set the tempo of the meeting very well. He introduced the guests very well and so made them feel at home. Kudos on that part, Anand. Coming to the TMoD, he was the star of today's meeting, I can say. Had a wonderful theme, very crucial theme in this Corona era on saving nature and why we need to, live in harmony with nature. I liked the way she linked nature to the theme of the theme of the meeting and the structure of the meeting, role players, everything was well thought out, and she had prepared questions to ask the speakers and took everybody's feedback. I can say she had well researched her role, especially when she told about the beach light. So it was really a good takeaway, I can say. Like all the current affairs and everything linked together. Good job on that. And she also had some good visuals to make us understand the impact. So just small improvement is maybe next time she can keep track of the feedback form. And since we have guests also, will not they may not be accustomed to the Toastmasters meeting. So just tell them a little bit about why feedback is important, why we need to give constructive feedback, and introduce the format. Well, that minor thing probably we can take care of it next time. Now coming to the table topic master, that is Toastmaster Anand. He had a very innovative concept of characterization, giving a character and explaining. So that was very well thought out. But just a small suggestion is, since the topics were a bit challenging today for all the speakers, maybe he could have simplified it. Let me illustrate how he could have simplified it. Maybe he could have taken some real life character, more relatable characters and generalistic characters like a businessman or a marketer or an environmental enthusiast, which everyone can relate. And also when the issues were introduced, probably he can simplify more as to, like Paris Agreement you took. Maybe not everyone is aware of that complex agreement. Maybe you can break down a bit and explain what exactly is that agreement, 1 2 lines and a challenge around it, and then tell people to speak. And I really liked the way how he was encouraging all the speakers to come forward. Though the topic was challenging, he was pushing everybody and encouraging. That's a very good sign. And one more way he could have tackled these challenging topics is, for example, on Amazon issue he brought in. He told that you can speak on biodegradable. So exactly tell what are those solutions. When you put across a challenge, if you could just tell the solutions a little more in detail, probably the speakers have more clarity on the topic and they can take a thread from there and start speaking. But other than that, the concept was innovative. Kudos on that. So good job to the TTM, the TMoD, and Surgeon at Arm. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Overall, I can say that as usual, DOTM has maintained the quality of the meetings. We always strive to bring in quality meetings with good themes, which is relatable, and we have done justice, I can say. And all role players so came well prepared on time. And so overall, I can say that it was a good meeting and there were a lot of takeaways for me. And I'm sure there was takeaway for each one of you present here, including the guests. So this ends my general evaluation section, and now I hand over the stage back to the TMoD of today's meeting, Toastmaster Sajal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devi. Let's have a huge round of applause for our general evaluator, Toastmaster Devi. We all know what significance nature plays in our lives. Every plastic straw that we throw away, every hour the fan rotates without use, without a reason, every wrapping paper that we throw away is pushing us towards an edge. and it's very close time that we will fall into the graves that we have dug ourselves. There are a billion examples that we can practice each day that can help us to prevent, to stop destroying the planet that we call home. For example, when you buy shoes, you can use that box as a jewelry box, or you can make a bookshelf out of it. If you are trying to throw a plastic bottle, just put some fairy lights in it and that will brighten up your room. If the jeans that you wear doesn't fit you anymore, then give it to somebody who needs it. Or you can make a curtain out of it. A little bit of creativity and innovation can help us to move away from that edge. So go to your balcony today, or go to your window, or walk towards your window and marvel at the wonderment of nature. And think if your actions are closer to being grateful towards nature, or is destroying it. That's all from my side. Over to Toastmaster Anand, our president for Delhi One Toastmasters Club.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. That was wonderful to hear from you throughout the meeting and from all the speakers, all the role players, all the auxiliary role players. Uh, Thank you so much for that, choosing that really very important topic. Now it's time for the ballots for the best role player, and you already know who the three contendants are. It's the Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sajal, Table Topic Master, which is me, and Toastmaster Devi, the General Evaluator. So uh, please cast in your ballots, and Toastmaster Rodi, please let me know when the polls are over.
There seem to be 2 or 3 people who are not very disciplined about voting. It would be great if they also cast their ballot. Okay, I guess we have to go with 7 out of 9. I'm ending the poll, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Roli. Now, I would like you, all of you, to please stick for another 10 odd minutes. And what I will do is that I would now like to hand over the stage to our uh, President-elect and our current VP at Toastmaster Bhavya to announce something which we were actually working on for like in the month of October also and in the month of November also. So says up with the results of the group competition which we had, and the stage is all yours, Toastmaster Bhavya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anand. So, are we excited to hear the results? Show me some excitement. Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Roli, Toastmaster Sajal. Okay, so first of all, I would like to say that all the teams performed really well, especially all the team leaders, Toastmaster Arun, Toastmaster Bela, and Toastmaster Sajal, Toastmaster Santosh, were really dedicatedly working and very responsible throughout their week, and they worked really good to ensure good quality of the meeting and engagement of the members. So now I would be sharing the results. So screen share. Okay, so these are the results. Team A got 89.9 points, and Team B got 66 points, and Team C got 79 points. So here we have the clear winner, which is Group A. So all the teams worked really hard, and so I would let's look how Team A worked something differently that they won. So firstly, the engagement in their meeting was more as compared to other weeks. So they could involve more number of members into the meeting by giving them roles. So it was the only meeting in the week. Out of the 3 weeks, we had 3 speeches, and the maximum number of members attended the meeting despite some genuine reasons. And the quality of the meeting was good, and especially the PR activities done by the team was amazing. Like they made many posters and videos. So kudos to Team A and their team leader, Toastmaster Arun, for such a good leadership. So, like, I would just suggest everyone to be more actively involved in the club activities and have a good attendance in the club meetings. Like every meeting you attend, you will definitely improve a little bit in your journey. So don't miss any meeting. Just devote 2 hours in a week, and it will have a huge impact in your life in the near future. So just make most out of your Toastmasters journey and be more involved. And uh, thank you for your participation in this group competition. So that's all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhavya, and congratulations once more to all the people who were part of it. Thank you, everyone. And as you'd have seen on your screens, that the engagement people have, the number of members who turn up, the number of guests who turn up actually divide the work, and that when combined together gives you the quality meeting. It's just not 1 to 2 members who just turn up every single meeting and do multiple roles. That brings quality to the meeting. So do tune in every week on Friday evenings. I would like to ask guests to stick for another 5 minutes and even after, because we would like to have conversation with you to answer any of your queries. In the meantime, I would like to go to George and other guests for their feedback. So, George, how was your experience today? What did you feel that we did good upon? Where you feel that we could improve upon, and any other feedback you would like to add?
Wow, it's really great. I'm learning lots of things from you people. Some speakers are really great, and their expressions. And I am just understanding how they're speaking and what they are doing and what they're putting in their conversation. And it's really great, awesome. I like it actually.
That's really very good. Thank you so much, George, for joining us today, and hope to see that very Toastmasters tag before your name soon. Uh, and now let's moving on to Keshav. Keshav, if you would quickly like to introduce yourself and also give us the feedback. How was your experience like today? Keshav, if you can hear me, you could unmute yourself, I guess. You are muted. Okay, so let's move to Jaya Ganguly. So, ma'am, how was your experience today? What do you think we did good upon, and any area of improvement you feel? Ma'am, are you there? Okay, I guess not. No issues. Now let's have a quick round of selfies, virtual selfies, and you can turn on your webcams if possible. Of course. Oh yeah, yeah. Hi, ma'am. We will have a quick round of virtual selfies, and then I will come back to you for your feedback. So, uh, yeah, who is doing that? Sajal, are you doing that? I guess. Okay.
Anand, you can't switch on your video, right?
I cannot. I will get kicked out.
Okay, done.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sajal. Yeah, ma'am. So, Jaya ma'am, how was your experience today? And
Her audio device seems to be
Yep.
far away from her, probably. She's unmuted, but the volume is not high enough for us to hear.
Yeah, ma'am, we are not able to hear you actually. Maybe if you're using the earphones, then that's not plugged in.
Maybe your speaker's volume needs to be increased, ma'am. Could you just check that?
Oh,
No, ma'am, we can't hear you. We can see that you are
okay.
unmuted, but your either your earphones or your headphones or your speakers, the volume needs to be increased.
Yep.
No, ma'am. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Okay, no issues, ma'am. We will connect offline, and of course, we will love to hear your feedback. Uh, so, uh, just one more thing uh, to say that like many of you would have already witnessed the club elections, uh, and you have if you can send out your best wishes to the upcoming uh, club officers who have got elected. I would just say one more thing, that the way you have given support to us, give the support to them also. And uh, I would like to ask each of the members to take roles in the meeting, be frequent with the meeting, and that's how you and I will improve. You can already see that the way I conducted table topics segment, and I had to go a long way. So you two will have a fabulous time with us. Join us every Friday from 6:45, and we hope to see you all smiling and learning along with us.
Mr. President, do you want to share the awards?
Yep.
Okay.
Apologies on my part. I forgot that.
No, no, no issues. I'll just share the screen.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so,
So,
so the certificates are on your screens, and the best table topic goes to Toastmaster Devi. Congratulations.
Thank you, Anand.
And the best speaker goes to Toastmaster Roli Sinha. And the best auxiliary role player goes to Toastmaster Bhavya Jain. The best evaluator again goes to Toastmaster Roli Sinha. And the best role player goes to Toastmaster Sajal, who was joining us after a really very long time. And I hope to see all the people tuning in every week and letting us elevate our meeting every single step one by one every particular week. So stay tuned with us and do join us every Friday from 6:45. I will take your permission now. We officially end the meeting. If guests would like to, if you would like to have conversations, you can feel free to converse. And I would request guests, if they have any questions, they can ask us, and if any.
um, Toastmaster Anand, considering the challenges that Jaya ma'am is facing, maybe we can just give a call to George and Jaya ma'am separately, maybe in a group call or something.
Okay, sure. Why not? So, Jia ma'am and George and Keshav, we will uh, try getting in connect with you offline, probably via WhatsApp or over call, and we will get to solve. We will try to solve any of your queries if you have any. Okay. So, mm, in the meantime, if you want to converse, you can converse for another 5 odd minutes at max. After that, I guess we'll have to close the meeting.
Okay, I'm going to say bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Good
Bye,
night.
bye everyone. Good night. Good night, everyone.
Bye.